Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have got more news. Fortunately, um, we will not be talking about Kylian Mbappe. Obviously we've been talking about him, the last couple of days. Um, that will not happen today. But obviously, a quick word. Obviously, last night, he was involved in the friendly between France and Luxembourg, and you know, a goal and two assists, if I'm not wrong, for Kylian Mbappe. Um, really looking forward to how and when he will come in and change, um, not really change, but help the attack and help the team out. Obviously, it is exciting times, but we'll just have to wait. Gotta be patient in life to obviously get the rewards. Um, so there's that. Um, in terms of other games going on, there weren't really many other interesting games um, happening last night. So not a lot to cover in terms of the games, but we have got some news from yesterday actually. So this is not today's news. Obviously, a bit ahead of time, but actually, I am ahead of time, but I'm also behind time. But anyways, um, let's start off with the first news that I came across, which concerns Leny Yoro. Now, this is a player that Real Madrid are obviously and have been looking at. We've known this, but there hasn't been much going on in the deal. There hasn't been a lot of context. So it's kind of really like what's happening, and obviously there isn't a confirmation 100% yet whether it's Nacho's leaving. He could be, or he might not be leaving. There isn't a confirmation yet. Um, and that might be because Nacho hasn't, 100% made up his mind. But if he does choose to leave, I think Real Madrid will go quickly and heavily in for Leny Yoro. So this is a watch deal, a wants to watch. But just some updates. New Manchester United have joined the race for Leny Yoro and have put a very big offer on the table from Jose Felix Diaz. I've heard a lot, and obviously we have seen a lot and heard a lot from Jose Felix Diaz as well. Whether he's reliable, I'm sure he would have had some right, some wrong, but we have known, I think, that if you had been, paying attention to the transfers talks, Manchester United have been in for Leny Yoro. We have known this, so it's not really um, new developments, but we can move um, to another one here from Jose Felix Diaz. Real Madrid have told Leny Yoro to wait and resist big offers. The club still wants to sign him, and contacts are still ongoing. Now, I don't think I have it here, but there was also another one, if I'm not wrong, from Jose Felix Diaz, which said that Manchester United have put in a 60 million euro bid for Leny Yoro, and as of now, there has been absolutely no confirmation from anyone that that has happened. So, as of now, that I think is false. I think that's not true because Fabrizio Romano has not come out to say anything about Leny Yoro in the last few days. There hasn't been anyone who has come out and suggested that a bid has gone in for Leny Yoro. Obviously, interest is there, development will be there, certainly, but I don't think that an offer has been made to Leo and to Leny Yoro. So right now, it's really a waiting game from Real Madrid's part. It's really, I would say, down to whether Nacho stays or leaves, and then obviously the operation for Leny Yoro will continue. I think that even if Nacho stays, it would be good to fight off competition now and not next summer to get him, because eventually Nacho will leave. I think if whether it's this summer or next summer, he will leave. So obviously, do you need five center backs? You don't know. I mean, last season we thought Rudiger, Alaba, Militao, Nacho were enough. And at the start, Militao went injured, and then in December period, Alaba went injured, and we really had to work with Rudiger and Nacho and Tchouaméni coming in at centre back, and even Carvajal at centre back. So it didn't go particularly well in terms of the centre back spot. So is it worth signing him now? I would say so. I would really say so. I mean, it depends on the fee. Obviously, there's still the Alphonso Davies saga, and we don't know what's going to happen there as well. But that is that for Leny Yoro. No new fresh developments, but we know Manchester United are interested and have been. But the bid has not gone in. No one has made a bid, and things are still the way things were a few days/weeks ago. Moving on to another player that Real Madrid have been reportedly interested in, but for 2025. Now, this is interesting. Let's talk about him. Florian Wirtz. Breaking, Real Madrid have the best chances to sign Florian Wirtz in 2025 from Bild. Obviously a German outlet, if I'm not mistaken. But why is this an update? Why is this coming out? Real Madrid midfield wise, we know what we have. We've got Jude Bellingham, we've got Valverde, we've got Camavinga, we've got Tchouaméni. And in the attack, we've got Mbappe now, Vinicius Junior, Rodrygo, and even considering Brahim Diaz is still young, and Arda Güler is still very, very young, of course. And then obviously you've got Joselu staying, potentially we'll get onto him in just a bit. But why is Florian Wirtz being mentioned? Why is a player in a position that we don't need being linked? I don't think it happens just because they want to get his name out. We have heard and seen Florian Wirtz being linked before. So I don't think this is just one of those fake random stuff that's put out for no reason. I think there is some sort of an interest, but my question is, why are we interested in another attacking midfielder who plays in the same area of the pitch as 5 to 6 other players that we've got? Why is that happening? And look, Kroos has retired. Modric will stay for 1 more year. Dani Ceballos should go. So that's 3 midfielders you're looking at that should/will be going in at least a year's time. Because I think Modric will stay for 1 last season and he'll go. I think that's inevitable. I think that's never in doubt. I think Dani Ceballos has to go. I just don't think he's good enough. And Kroos is obviously already retired. So that leaves you with a midfield. We're talking 6 and 8 of Valverde, Camavinga, and Tchouaméni, which is good, right? Because you could play a 3-man midfield with Bellingham. So there's 4 players there. But I think Florian Wirtz could go in. But what about the balance of the team? I think if you have a midfield of Florian Wirtz, Jude Bellingham, and Tchouaméni, where does it leave Valverde? Valverde has to play. He has to play. I would say Camavinga, you can bench Camavinga, but you cannot drop one of Bellingham, Tchouaméni, or Valverde. So if Florian Wirtz is going to go in there and you're going to play a 4-man midfield, Bellingham in the 8 with Valverde, Tchouaméni, Wirtz as the 10, and you're going to have a front 2 of Mbappe or Vinicius Junior, that means that pushes Rodrygo even further, that pushes Brahim Diaz further, Arda Güler further, and Joselu even further. I mean, does that make sense? In my opinion, no. Obviously, do we want to see these signings happen? I would say Real Madrid fans want to see Florian Wirtz sign. Why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, this realistically is a dream to see all these players assemble in one team. But obviously, you have to think about it in the smart and more mature way. There really isn't a need for Florian Wirtz. There isn't. I mean, you have got 4 very young, talented midfielders. You have got some of the young best attackers in the world that can't even get into the team. I mean, Rodrygo can't even get into this team. There's debates, and Rodrygo on his day could probably get into any team. I mean, Man City won him, and we'll get onto that as well later. But Florian Wirtz, is that a realistic deal that will happen? Who knows? But obviously, we've got one more here. Florian Wirtz and Xabi Alonso could join Real Madrid together in 2025. Now, Xabi Alonso, that is realistic because he has committed another season, another year with Bayer Leverkusen. Because obviously he wants to keep them in that race with Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga title race. He's gonna get Champions League football, obviously. So, he's gonna get one more season with this group of players that he has already, managed to manage, right? So that is that, but there isn't a guarantee that he will stay for another season after next season for the 25-26 season. So I would say the best chances is he stays for one more season and he looks at jobs that he could get. Now, both the other teams that were rumored to rival Real Madrid for Xabi Alonso have gotten new managers. Liverpool have gotten Arne Slot, and Bayern Munich have gotten Vincent Kompany. Now, I think Arne Slot will stay at Liverpool for a few years, so I think Liverpool job is out of the question. But Bayern Munich, could they sack Kompany after a year? If things go really, really poorly, like they don't even get top 4, I think I could see that happening. But I don't think Bayern Munich will crumble so badly. I think they'll still get second or third, if not win it, the Bundesliga, and they'll probably go into the semi-finals or quarterfinals of the Champions League again. So I do think that Kompany might stay for another year after next season. So that leaves Real Madrid open because Ancelotti has obviously got one more season left on his contract, and he said he wanted to retire at Real Madrid. So could he, at the end of this upcoming season, go, you know what, let's call it a day? He could. He really could. So Xabi Alonso, who knows? Right now, I would say Real Madrid is the best chance. Florian Wirtz, as I said, I just don't see why there is a need and necessity for Florian Wirtz to join Real Madrid in 2025. I just don't see a need, except for have the best front line in football history. I would say the defense we'll need to talk about more in terms of getting the signings in. But that is going to be for next year anyway. So this time next year, we'll be back talking about this. Just like how this time last year we were talking about Mbappe. So who knows? But we've already talked about some potential incomings with Leny, Yoro and Florian Wirtz. Let's talk about some players who could be leaving or continue staying. First up, we've got Arda Güler, and this is coming from The Athletic. Arda Güler is expected to stay next season, no loan, which is good. I think with the amount of games there will be next season, Real Madrid are competing in 7 competitions, if I'm not wrong, right? We have obviously La Liga, Champions League, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, I think Club World Cup, and what else am I missing? I'm missing something. Is that 2 Club World Cups? I know there's one that usually takes place, and there's one new one coming up. So it might be 2 different Club World Cups. If not, I'm just missing something. But Real Madrid will be in basically every competition possible next season. So Arda Güler, get him a good proper pre-season training this year because he didn't really get a proper one last year, right? And let him get going, and hopefully he stays injury free, and he can start, from the bench, but he can also come on, make the impact, and start some games, right? The preseason friendlies, tournament games, is to see, these players obviously get back to fitness after the Euros, and obviously Arda Güler will be taking part in the Euros with Turkey. So let's see, but it's good to see him stay. Another player will be Joselu. Real Madrid have informed Carlo Ancelotti they can count on Joselu for next season. From Relevo, another one from Relevo is Joselu knows that there will be a lot of competition in attack next season, but he doesn't care. The only thing on his mind is staying at Real Madrid. He accepts a rotation role. Look, if you're at the age of Joselu, you have played for the likes of Stoke City and Newcastle United. You've gone to Germany. You've gone back to Spain with Alaves and Espanyol. And then you have suddenly signed for Real Madrid. You have won the Champions League and La Liga in your first season. Do you really care about playing? The answer really is no. I mean, look, I wouldn't say his career has been, obviously poor because he's won the Champions League now. But it's been a bit of a journeyman career. He's been everywhere, really. So, for him, at his age, it would have been realistically continue with teams like Espanyol, Alaves, and maybe a mid-table La Liga team, and that is around there. So for him to make that step up to Real Madrid, and let's not forget, this is not a player that flopped. This is a player who got double digits in goals in all competitions. So this is a player who has done a lot. And let's not forget that 2 goals against Bayern Munich that he scored. Let's not forget that. So for him, it's good. Stay, occasionally play. Same with Arda Güler. You will get minutes. He's not gonna just sit on the bench and do nothing. He will get minutes. Arda Güler will get minutes. Brahim Diaz will get minutes. Rodrygo will 100% get minutes. So the competition's there, but the amount of games are also there. There are gonna be so many games. I'm looking at 70 games, and we'll get onto that. Lastly, if I'm not wrong, we have got some on Rodrygo. This is once again from Jose Felix Diaz on Rodrygo. The exit door is not closed, nor is his mind completely sealed to continue at Real Madrid. They've told me that Guardiola talked with him, but I cannot confirm this. It's true that Rodrygo feels uncomfortable, and we'll have to see where this goes. Look, who knows, right? But he's not leaving this summer. And by the time next season, next summer window comes, would Pep Guardiola still be at Man City? So I feel like this is just nothing. This is nothing. This is reporting nothing, because obviously now that Mbappe has signed, there has been this huge focus on Rodrygo that he will be pushing for a move. But Rodrygo hasn't come out and said that. He hasn't said he's unhappy. He hasn't said he wants to move. So I think for Rodrygo right now, it's about seeing what happens. Give him the next season. Is he going to play 40 games? Is he going to play 45 games? Is he going to play 50 games? What is going to happen with Rodrygo? Is he going to get more game time? Same amount? Or a lot less? And then you will make that decision. This is not the time. He's completely, I think, still with Real Madrid, at least for now. And let's not talk about Man City, because in a year's time, as I said, Pep Guardiola could have already left. He might not have stayed. And we don't know what will happen in a year's time. So it's hard to tell. But we've got, I think, last piece of news, at least last 2. It is Raul Gonzalez, obviously Real Madrid legend. Just in, Raul will stay at Real Madrid Castilla, confirmed from Relevo. And also, further confirmation, Raul will stay at Real Madrid Castilla. For Florentino Perez, Raul can stay for as long as he wants to. The president considers him important due to what he represents for Real Madrid and because of what he can contribute in Valdebebas. From Jose Felix Diaz as well. It's good to see Raul stay with the Castilla team. Would I want to see him manage the first team one day? It is easy to just say that, isn't it? It is just easy to say that. But I think if anyone, it's going to be Xabi Alonso. Lastly, we have got this, right? This just came out about an hour ago from Madrid Extra. Real Madrid are completely against the new Club World Cup that will take place in June and July 2025. That is obviously the crazy big format of the Club World Cup, really, isn't it? If Real Madrid reach the final, the season will end on July 13th, 2025. It could be a season of 72 games. Can I just say, this time next season, right, next year, the season wouldn't even have been over yet. We'll be still playing. We're still playing this. And I get that. I get the frustration. We don't need this. Give us a normal Club World Cup that we play a couple of games in, and we come in to the tournament later on because we have won the Champions League, and then let us play about 2 to 3 games. We might go to the final, we win it, and hooray. Let's not expand and create a new Club World Cup format that will take place in the middle of the year when players are looking to go and have their breaks, their holidays, their rest. And you're squeezing in an extra amount of games. I mean, how many games did this play? I don't know, 10? It could be 10 games. It could really be. So, this is just absolutely crazy that we're playing upwards of 70 games. I mean, that's crazy, you know? Really, really is. But let me know what your thoughts are. There was a lot to talk about on Leny, Yoro, Florian, Wirtz, and Xabi Alonso. Also on Joselu, Güler, Rodrygo, and Raul. And also, what are your thoughts on this Club World Cup format? Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the button, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.